When I'm photographing, I see life. That's what I deal with. I don't have pictures in my head. I frame in terms of what I want to include, and naturally when I want to snap the shutter. And I don't worry about how the picture's going to look. I let that take care of itself. You know, and we know too much about how pictures look and should look. And how do you get around making those pictures again and again? And it's one modus operandi to frame in terms of what you want to have in the picture, not about how making a nice picture. That anybody can do. I mean, I'm very subjective in what I photograph. When things move, I get interested. I know that much. Women interest me. They're, you know, basically how they look, and I mean, certainly how they look and how they move, their energy. It's sort of like photographing theater. You know, that guy in the car sitting on the backseat waving at the crowd. To make a photograph more theatrical than the subject's own theatricality is a hell of a problem. Let's say a picture is about what's photographed and how that exists in the photograph. So that's what we're talking about. What can happen in a frame? Because photographing something changes it. It's interesting. I don't have to have any storytelling responsibility to what I'm photographing. I have a responsibility to describe well. The fact that photographs, they're mute. They don't have any narrative ability at all. You know what something looked like, but you don't know what's happening. You don't know whether, like this, is the hat being just held? Is it being put on her head or taken off her head? From the photograph, you don't know that. A piece of time and space is well described, but not what is happening. I think that there isn't a photograph in the world that has any narrative ability. Any of them. They do not tell stories. They show you what something looks like to a camera. You know, the minute you relate this thing to what was photographed, it's a lie. It's two-dimensional. It's the illusion of literal description. The thing has to be complete in the frame. Whether you have that information, the narrative information or not, it has to be complete in the frame. It's a picture problem. It's part of what makes things interesting. Two areas of the country have always fascinated me to photograph. One was Texas, and one Southern California. I don't understand. It just fascinates me, you know. Show business and the oil. I mean, it's improbable. It's funny.
What's happening?
I'm surviving. You know. You see the Georgia Klinger? When there's direct sun on it, the whole thing becomes like a giant jewel. And depending on which cars are parked in front, open convertibles or whatever, it's almost like a pat answer to how to illustrate the idea of this place. To make that work, beyond just being an illustration of an idea, it's, for me, an interesting problem. I've learned a long time ago to trust my instincts, you see? When I'm photographing, I want to, if I'm with a viewfinder and I know the picture, I know that picture, why take it? I'll do something to change it, which is often a reason why I may tilt the camera or fool around in various ways. You don't learn anything from repeating what you know, in effect. So I keep trying to make it uncertain. What I found out over photographing a long time, the more I do, the more I do. When you're younger, you can only conceive of trying a limited amount of things to work with. And the more I work, the more subject matter I can begin to try to deal with. So the more I do, the more I do. It's nuts. The nature of the photographic process is, it is about failure. Most everything I do doesn't quite make it. The failures can be intelligent. They're not necessarily stupid, but nothing ventured, nothing gained. I mean, hopefully you're risking failing every time you make a frame. I'm in Los Angeles now, a little over 2 years. This stuff is slightly under 2,000 rolls, which is what I've developed since I'm here. And I have over 2,000 to go.